Back out at the Verdugos today to ride Scott's Trail with Mr. Steve Livigni for the first time.
Call me a cheater if you want, but I like being towed. Son. Woo! Oh man, so blind.
This is the bonus drop-in portion of Scott's Trail. There's really only two things worth looking at. This downhill, which isn't super long, end of summer 2024. It is so loose. Little tackiness would be great.
That was Scott's extra credit. Now we're gonna go into Scott's proper.
Scott's Trail is one of my absolute favorite trails in the region. I did hurt my shoulder on this trail not so long ago. It was a totally stupid crash, totally stupid place, which, you know, happens. That's mountain biking, I guess. This is a fun trail because it's windy, slippy, and look at these views out into the distance. I mean, so crazy. You can really hit those turns hard if you have the confidence to do it. I am not back up to my full pace yet by any means.
What a view.
That's gorgeous.
Woo.
Scott's Trail is made up of two parts. There's a top section and a bottom section. The bottom section you can kind of lap a couple of times. I used to use this as practice for enduro racing. I felt like it was a pretty good trail for that. The only thing it doesn't really have is too many kind of like drops or like bigger rock features, so I'd kind of go other places for that, but just for like fast downhill, totally great spot for it. This little spot's super fun and whippy. I feel like you go through this too fast. And there's a new line off to the right there that's straight shot through, but I don't know. I kind of like doing turns. And now this little rock section is one of the toughest, especially when it's a snake pit, like right now. Look at that. There he is, right there on the ground. Steve really went right over it, almost clipped his head. Neither of us saw that snake. I was watching back through the footage and I saw that on the ground. I was like, wait a second, was that a snake? And yes, it was. They are out there all the time. We're out here at like 6 a.m. and it's already in the 70s. They're out and chilling. So it is not the place you want to see a snake. But forever, that will now be the snake pit to me, so. All right, dropping into the bottom portion of Scott's Trail.
Like the letter, I'm making several waves. I know the mission is same. I made a splash, now all of my passes last like running a race with Usain. I keep it coming like
this stuff. The braking bumps are getting pretty bad in there. I recommend just letting go of the brakes through there if you can. This section's fun, this little downhill. I like Steve's angle here seeing me. Camera's a little low, but still pretty good to see. You get a little more sense of how steep that is. This little rocky ridge is really fun too.
Just doing the bottom section of Whiting Woods. We don't have time to go all the way up, so we're just in the bottom portion, which I've never done before, so see how that goes.
All right, here we are, Whiting Woods. We've done the top portion, as I mentioned, never done the bottom. Hitting some of these little jumps, but doing them way too slow. Really had no idea what was on the other side of them. I came into them and then looked at it as I was going up the face of it. Took them really safe, but I feel like those are all pretty doable. There's some much bigger jumps on that trail. This feature, obviously.
That's cool. I'm not hitting that.
I'm not doing that today, as I said, but I feel like it's not that bad. The drop isn't bad. It's just you land on steep, so you gotta be ready to land fast. Might be more fun to try it for the first time when it's a little tacky. You have a little more stopping power. Fun section. I just figured I'd let him go through first. This one, I feel like I could go a little faster. Could hit this drop here a little quicker. Like you kind of rolled it, which is cool. You can do that, and then I kind of like hop it, but you know, not big or anything. Features coming up here, I feel like is a great place to practice. You could send this. Like when you're coming into it, you can't see what's after it. And again, I just rolled at it, hoping it wasn't too bad.
That was a cool feature.
A little rock feature, super fun to roll. We stopped and looked at it. I feel like there's some stuff you could, if you're going fast, you just like send some of those bumps. I mean, I've watched people do that.
You'd have to hook that second one too, I think, if you hit the first one.
I hope this is interesting. We're Obviously not the most spectacular riders in the world, but for us, I kind of always like seeing that because it shows if it's even doable. This looks pretty technical, but I think it's pretty rideable if you've got confidence on the bike.
That was fun. And I feel like there's a few little things we could add to it. We did Scott's extra credit, upper Scott's, lower Scott's, then rode over and did sort of the bottom half of Whiting Woods. Pretty fun. That bottom half of Whiting Woods is pretty good. I've only ever done screw loose before. Decided to go try that and work on some of the features I think are doable for us two old guys.